What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of the Bison Trading Show, coming at you live from the Bison Trading Labs. It is another Friday, April 16th, 9:22, ready to get it in. Let's have a great session today. We're going to go ahead, pass it over to Darren. Wait.
Ooh,
If you don't know, I'm half of the Bison Trading Show crew. I go by the name of TyTradesFutures, and of course, I'm here with my guy.
You already know who it is, man. It's your boy. I'm the D guy, aka Pro Financials. Ready to dig on in today and see what the market has to give us. We're gonna get in and get out and call it.
All right, so let's get it started.
All right. So for me, I'm gonna just keep my eyes on AU for right now and kind of wait patiently. Because, like I said yesterday, I feel like it was heading down anyway. But also what kind of made me feel a little bit skeptical about this one is because my higher time frames didn't line up on this one. Let me look at my levels that I wrote down yesterday. Alright, so for AU, matter of fact, I wrote the zones over here. I mean the areas over here on the side. So I think, where's those levels I wrote at for AU? Come back to the hour, 2 hour. I think it was this one right here. So the price that I'll be looking for is 0.77225. Yep, this line here, I'll be waiting for that, and then 76,900. Okay, so pretty much here. So pretty much I was expecting this to break, but ever since yesterday, it's just been really shooting up. So let me go to the daily really quickly. In fact, let's look at the monthly before we get anything crazy. So on the monthly, we got that wick that was here, and we're still kind of in the same zone, general zone we were in yesterday. To me, it kind of looks like with this daily candle right here, we possibly could get enough momentum to even break, kind of follow the uptrend that's been kind of going on. And I think, like I told you before, even though when we see this little top wick up here, that doesn't always necessarily mean a reverse coming back down. It just could just possibly mean we needed this wick to happen for retracement back down in order to move back up again. So I feel like I will feel more comfortable being on the on the buying side today. Just because I feel like it came down to these lows down here and then found resistance or support, I should say. And then it should be heading back up again. So I'm going to keep my eyes on these highs up here. So let me hide these signals here. So let's move this right here. And let me see if I can draw a nice little... What would be really good if I could have gotten in... If I could have gotten in down here at the green line, right off of the bounce off of the 7 moving average to go up. But then even though it already got hit again, I will be confident, or I feel that it could possibly come back down and hit these tops here again. So I think a good level that I need to kind of focus on for today's session is right around this level where this high kind of are in the general area of the 65 moving average. Because like I told you, with this particular pair, when the market is kind of gapped like this, where the 7 is kind of really far away from the 65, we should be expecting the market to either come back down to the 65 or come back down to some high that has been previously broken. So if you look at where we are right now, this little retracement right here possibly could have been the retest to this high over here and then just been going up. So if it came down and retraced at this high here, it's a good possibility that with these highs right here, with no looks like momentum to even break these highs up here, I think we may have enough momentum to at least come down first and then go up. So just to conclude, what I'm waiting for, since I'm looking for the buys, I'm looking for the market to come back somewhere back to that high area where it hit before. down over to this left right here. But let me drop down lower and kind of see. Let me go to the 45 minute. Because something about the 45 minute I really like. So yeah, so I think that if we can just get the market to come down into like this general blue box area, find resistance here, I would be comfortable to take it back up again. But even though we just came out of this little 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple top, it wouldn't be crazy for the market to come all the way back down to 65. But we just need to stay on the side of the trend. The trend is letting us know clearly that I think we're still in an up momentum, or up movement, I should say. So, okay, so with the monthly, the 7 is below the 65, and the weekly and daily is the 7 is above the 65. We are still in a retracement. So if I'm expecting the market to go up, a nice retracement would have to happen, which means the market would have to come down first, find resistance, and then go up. So I want to be on that side of the trade. I want to wait for the market to come back down to either my blue zone down here, or even this. Let me draw like another zone right here. At this low down here, right around where it lines up with the 65 moving average. So these are the kind of the three little boxes I'm kind of waiting for. So just to recap before I push it back over to Tiberius, I'm looking for long plays. We want to buy low, sell high, and being I'm on the side of the buyers. The best area obviously would be this big blue box down here, but being that the market's just been having a steady, constant flow moving up, I think that we can possibly get it just to this blue zone down here, and then we want to move up. So I'm kind of looking for something like this. It would be nice for it to come all the way down to this blue zone, find rejection, and then move up. But it's definitely very possible, very, very possible, that the market can come just down to this immediate blue zone and find resistance, just because it hit this bottom zone already, and then it shot up, and then it hit this zone again. So we should possibly be expecting maybe a third tap, or if you look kind of really closely, so I just peeped it just right now. Let me zoom in. If you can peep in really close, where we're sitting right now, we're actually sitting at a high area, or a previous kind of high. So this area right here is something that I want to kind of hone in on, because if you look at it, the market came up, broke this high, which was kind of like structure. It broke this, came up. This could possibly be the retest. Like, are you sure you want to go up? And based on the next couple formations of the candles will let us know, like, oh, are we going to go back up, or we're going to continue to push back down. But I think what I said the first time, which was going to come back down to this blue zone, find resistance, and then should be expecting to take it up. So this box right here is definitely the zone I'm going to be waiting for to get hit. So that's pretty much my play, or my lineup for today. Ty, tell me what you got going over there, good buddy.
All right. So today I'll be trading the S&P 500 futures. If we pull out this chart, let's get a good look at it. We can see that overall we are in a very nice uptrend. Now remember, from yesterday's live market analysis session, we were talking about how when we look at uptrends, we want to follow market structure. So we were discussing how usually prices have a tendency to pull back to what used to be the last high, and that's where we like to place our orders. Now, for us right now, that level would be 41.66. We're about 8 points away. Now, if the trend stays strong enough in the short term, we might be able to get prices at a better price, well, a higher price at 41.72 or 41.70 towards the bottom of this wick right here, or these wicks down below. Notice that we have a double bottom that formed down here at 41.70, and we've broken past a major quarter level at 41.75, but we weren't able to close above it. So we might be seeing a little bit of selling pressure coming off of those levels for buyers to set up for better prices. Give buyers the opportunity to buy low and sell high. So right now we're on our way back down to the bottom of this area. Now, if it gets to this level, all I want to see is a higher low, and then I'll be confident enough to go long because the overall trend is up. So whenever we see markets come back into major support levels and we see our bounce, that's what we want to take. But make sure everybody out there, you don't take the trade before you see the bounce. Just because prices hit your level doesn't mean that you take the trade. When prices hit your level, it means that you start looking for your setups to take your trade. And then once you see all of your confirmations pop up on the chart, then you go ahead and move forward with your decision. So right now, I'm waiting for the long play. In terms of the short, I always respect that side of the market. And right now, we did have a bearish engulfing coming on the 1 minute chart. So that could potentially lead to lower prices if we continue to see sellers pushing the market lower right here. But I wouldn't start taking short trades unless we break 41.69. Because remember, the overall trend is up. The last low was located around 41.69, 41.66. So before we even think about the selling move, we have to see those levels get broken. But until then, we have to lean towards the long side. So let's go ahead, pop out to the 15-minute. On the 15-minute, we can see that not too long ago, the last candle that formed before this one, the bulls made the next leg of the up move, and they made an impulsive move to the upside. Now, the bears have come in and have almost undid everything that the buyers have just tried to create. So if 41.69 gets broken, that means that all the momentum that the bulls just had has been rejected by the sellers, which could lead to lower prices. But in my opinion, as long as prices stay above that general area, the 70 to 66, if they stay above there, we should be good for our long trades. So overall, that's what I'm looking for. Now, I know with the S&P, it has a tendency to move very, very shaky, meaning that even if you know the uptrend is in play, you still have to wait until everything sets up because the S&P is very tricky. It'll try and trick you out of your position, make you go short when you really should be long, make you go long when you really should be short. So it comes down to patience and being able to wait for that one specific move that we want to take. And then once we see it, we take advantage of what we have in the market at that time. I also like to compare the S&P to the Dow Jones. There is a very strong correlation between these two pairs, about a 80 to 85% correlation, meaning that if one of them is moving in one direction, the other should be doing a very similar action. And as we can see, looking at the Dow Jones, we don't have exactly what we have on the S&P because the S&P is selling off a little bit right now. So that either means that the Dow Jones is going to sell off right now and catch back up with the S&P, or the S&P will start moving back up and catch up with the Dow Jones. So it's never clear cut which direction it'll move in. You just have to study the charts and analyze it and see, oh, okay, is it catching back up? Let me participate. So that could help us out today. I'll be looking for that as well, because if we can see that prices have come back to major levels of support and we had our bounce. We're closing above the wicks for these candles. So if we close above that in 20 seconds, I'll go long, take my trades from right there. As a matter of fact, it looks like we pretty much will close above it. So I'll put my order right here, 71 at 74. And we are in the trade. So let me place my stop 2 points below 41.72. And let me place my target back up here towards the daily highs at 41.78. So I'm looking to get 4 points on this trade, and I'm risking 2 points to get it. So that's about a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio, something that I like. I typically like to do either 1 to 1, but that's on a rare occasion, but I try and find something better. So either 1 to 1, worst case scenario, but 2 to 1 is good for me, and anything higher than that, I'll take it. So let's see how this trade plays out.
So at least for me, I just popped back over to the AU and I dropped down to the 15-minute, and I kind of really noticed the candle that is forming right now, how it came down and hit the 65 moving average perfectly. Now I noticed the last time it came down to this area, it shot back up. It never had any momentum to break down below the 65 moving average. So I pretty much set up a long play for AU to take it back up to the top of structure, just because I feel the last time it came down to the 65 moving average, it had no, how do you say, no plans to even break down below the 65. So I feel like the market could be kind of doing the same thing. Yeah, so and it's kind of flipping right now. So I actually placed it a trade. I don't know if it got hit yet, but I placed it right at a good quarter level. Well, not exactly a quarter level, but 77 420, which is this month 420. So crazy. Just to kind of pause on that. Is it me or have no one has been talking about 420 this year? Have you heard anything or seen anything about 420 this year?
I don't know what that is.
Well,
Never
I
heard of it.
know from what I heard, usually a lot of people speak on 420. It's a lot of things been going on, but let's not like veer the idea. But I was just thinking, like, wait a minute, I didn't hear nobody speak on that. But let's get back to this. So I feel like with the position that we have right here, I feel like I'm gonna stick with my guns and stay on the side of buying, just because it came back up here and it came back down to a low area that it couldn't break before. So I have this blue zone. Actually, I want to change this blue zone to red. So that'd be my like do not cross zone, or if it crosses, get out type of thing. What color should I make it? But that box is red, so I can't make it red. What colors make red?
Mm,
Green and blue?
I think so.
Let me see. But pretty much I want this bottom zone to be kind of like my closeout or stop zone. Because I feel like if it breaks down below these lows here, oh god, we lost the signal. Just give us a second, guys. Ty Bears are gonna come back here with us. Let's give him a second. He's gonna be right back with us. Sorry about that, guys. His Wi-Fi has been acting crazy lately. I don't know why his Wi-Fi has been acting crazy lately. So just give us a couple more minutes. But we can just continue to still go over my trade and my position until he hops back in. I don't know why he's not sharing his screen. I can't see what's going on with him. Let me see. Yo.
Yep.
You back?
We're back.
All right. Yo, you and your Wi-Fi, bro. You got to get that checked, fam. But yeah, we're gonna continue to talk about my trade. So pretty much the line I have here, I set up for the buy. Let me drop down to the 5 minutes just to see if we can get like a clearer picture. So yeah, I put it so where it's a buy limit. So I was waiting for it to come back down and break up through it and not just break. How do you say? So I did a buy limit, which means it's off of the reverse. So when it's coming down and reverses off of that level. So pretty much I'm waiting for it to come back up over it, kind of retest it, and then continue back up again. So like I said, I'm going to take it back up to the top of structure. I really feel confident with the side of the bulls today. And when I look at the daily is kind of what really let me be on the side of buyers, just because this market had enough momentum to break up over the 7 moving average. And it even broke this high over to the left. And like we said all before, anytime the market kind of breaks a previous high, so to say, we should be expecting the market to come back down and question, like, are you sure you want us to break it? And then if it does stay above it, that's like the confirmation yes. So I'm going to wait and see how this play turns out. This is kind of how I have it formed. So I don't think I am in just yet. So let me just move it just over just a little bit. Even though I'm not in yet, I should be in. Matter of fact, let me see if I am in. Okay, I did get in. It just got me in. So I'm gonna stay with the buys on this one and see how this plays out. And this is pretty much the play I'm gonna be having for today's session. But what really worries me about this particular setup is because if you kind of look, this is kind of like the setup Tiberius had on. I forgot what pair it was, but he had like the shoulder over here. Just for the I'm gonna make this the shoulder right here, this one right here. Even though I feel like both of these could be shoulders, both of these can be shoulders, I'm gonna just kind of put this one as a shoulder, and then I could see like the shoulder forming again over here. And possibly this could be the area where the market decides to be like, you know what, we're gonna go back to our original direction, or the how do you say, the direction on the biggest time frame. And like I told you, if I had to take a decision whether to if the monthly tells me something compared to the weekly and daily, I think I would always take the monthly before anything. So yeah. So I'm just pretty much going to see how this plays out. I'm feeling confident with this one. I'm only going to risk. Let me see how much I'm going to risk. So I want to make sure I put a nice little stop loss in it. So I only want to risk. I only want to risk somewhere around like maybe 20 pips, something like that. I don't want to risk a lot. But let me see how much this is right here. So this is a 1-to-6 ratio. This is 2-to-1. So I think 2-to-1 would be a good little setup for today. Come on, you dang thing. That's as close as I could get it. So I should actually really keep it tight because like I told you, I still kind of feel like it could go down, but I'm not going to sway my decisions or anything like that. I'm just going to stick with my buys and the bulls, and if I get stopped, I get stopped. I have 3 chances to get stopped out. Once I get stopped out 3 times, I usually call it for the day. So we'll see how this plays, and if I get stopped, then we'll try to see if we can get another position to hop back in. And then if that gets stopped, I definitely would have to call it for today. So Todd, what's going on over there? Anything good?
Yeah, so over here, prices are coming back into the major support levels we were talking about from last time. But so far, it looks like the sellers are having their way right now. So we'll need to see a little bit of support right here from the buyers. So far, we're getting that with this wick that's forming, but this is a 1-minute candle, so don't put too much into this one. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and move up
Yeah, you
to the
don't want to get
5-minute chart.
You don't want to get distracted with the lower time frames.
Mhm. So as we can see, prices are coming back to test what used to be the previous highs. We know that the overall trend is up. So that's something that we like to see. We like to see the bounce from those support levels. Now, all we need to see is a higher low get formed, and then we can be confident going long from this point forward. But we have to be patient because the sellers definitely can step up and take over today's market right now. They still have a big chance to be able to do that. So we want to make sure that before we take any trades, we wait for our confirmation. So first signal, boom, we hit our major support level at 41.70. We also hit that major support level on higher volume. That represents exhaustion. Exhaustion simply means that everyone who wants to sell has already done so. So if there are no sellers in the market, it leaves a vacuum for the buyers to pretty much do as they please, and that usually leads to higher prices. Not too shortly after exhaustion volume gets formed. So either 3 to 4 candles after that happens, you should start looking for some type of pullback or potential reversal to happen. Now, so far, we're seeing buyers step in on this candle. It did close green, but we'll need to see them push prices back up past the exhaustion candle open at 41.71 in order for us to consider the long trade to be valid right now. So the sellers and the buyers are having a little bit of a battle right now, trying to see who can defend or break through this 41.70 support level. Now, remind you, it's Friday, so we might not have as much action as we usually do. So we have to take everything with a grain of salt and really analyze it from a perspective of scarcity, meaning that if we see a trade that we like, we have to take our setups. But if not, we're not really trying to press the issue or try and force any trades that aren't there. So, from my analysis from earlier, our overall direction is potentially long. Only looking at the shorts if we break 41.65. But until that point, we need to see some higher highs and higher lows. So right now, we're really just in no man's land. It's time to observe the market. It's not time to take any action. We need to see exactly what this market is made of before we start taking anything. So overall, just waiting for that higher low to get established. And then I'll be taking it long, probably trying to take it back up to today's daily highs, which are also the all-time highs at 4,178.
Exactly. And I kind of feel like um, the same setup, the way you just spoke it, is possibly going to happen the way like this. I did put a trade in for something very small, like a 1 penny lot size, nothing crazy, because I don't like to jump in or throw the house at the market on like the first couple trades. So I definitely kind of feel like my original idea was correct, which was to come back down to this blue zone first, wait for it to reject here, and then we should expect the market to continue to back up again. But being that I made sure my lot size was a small enough lot size, I think I can definitely hang on and wait for the rejection to happen in the next couple of minutes right on top of this blue zone, because I feel like if it rejects right here on the top of this blue zone, everything that I said it was going to be correct. So let's just be patient. We don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to force the trade. We don't want to do anything that's going to get ourselves burned. So, like we told you in plenty of times, sometimes live trading is not as what you think it is. Yes, you can make money, but you have to be patient and recognize when good setups come. You have to recognize when or recognize the direction of the market, which is the most important thing. Because if you just get into the market, just looking at where's my pen? Okay, if you just get in the market and just decide to start hopping in, the market's just going to just take you for a whirl and possibly burn your whole account. So like I said, I did take my trade. Possibly could have moved too fast just because I like the setup so much. But this could definitely be an example for y'all or a lesson for you guys that whatever idea you have, always go with your first idea, because 8 times out of the 10, your very first idea is always the correct one. So let's just be patient and see how this market plays. And I know a lot of hype has been going around Dogecoin. As soon as my setup kind of plays out, I want to kind of go over that, or I want me and TyTradesFutures to kind of go over that and give you guys some ideas on where we think the market is going to go. So let's just wait for our setups and let things play out, and then we'll switch it over to that and give you our ideas. So I was absolutely right, bro. That trade is going to come back down to the blue box and then turn back up. That's crazy. Exactly what I thought it was going to do. But like I said, I'm going to be patient, and I just feel like the last time it came down here, it had no plans on breaking the zone. So I could be wrong now because it's actually heading down in that way here. I think I could be in the midst of getting stopped. So this will possibly be my first loss for today. But that just lets me know I was to be a little bit more patient and always go with your first idea until it proves itself wrong. That's what I'm gonna actually start doing. Always go with your first instinct until it's proven wrong. Because literally 8 times out of the 10 that I've called a direction or gave my opinion on something, that's exactly how it played out. It's just I moved my feet a little too fast and not let the trade come to me. So enough of my rattling off. Let's just kind of see what the market does. Any good movement on your side, my boy?
Yeah, for the sellers, it's a pretty good move right now. We're making lower lows and lower highs. We started the day off with a bearish engulfing. We had our first lower high that got established. Now, if we break this down to the line chart, we can see it a lot better. We had not only a lower high, but a small double top. Then we came back, we established a trend line, and we haven't broken that trend line since. We've been riding it to the downside so far. Even after we had exhaustion volume up here, it did lead to a pullback, but that was it. It came back, retested the last high, the last low, and from that point forward, it had the next leg of the downtrend. So if we're studying what the market is doing now, we should expect markets to come back up, retest this last low right here at 41.68, and we should be able to take a nice short trade from those levels. Now, that's a possibility, but I think in the overall longer term picture, I have to still lean towards the long side. And what I realized with the S&P is that when you have a certain direction, when the market goes against you, you just have to kind of sit back, wait, and be patient. Let the other side of the market do what they need to do, and then wait for the market to start lining up in your direction again before you start trading. Now, with the S&P, that can take some time. It might take 10, 15, 20 minutes. But within that 10 to 20 minutes, you want to make sure that you don't just trade just because. You always want to trade when you see exactly what you need. So for the S&P right now, I'm not going to let the temporary downtrend derail my overall analysis for the longer term picture. I just have to be patient and either sit on the sidelines, or if the short trade gets lucrative enough, I'll be able to switch my sides and hop into the short trade. But either way it goes, we don't want to make any impulsive decisions. We want to analyze, observe, identify, and then take our trades when the time comes around.
Exactly.
And for the Dow Jones is also moving down a little bit lower. Now, remind you, we were talking about earlier how either the Dow Jones was going to drop and catch back up with the S&P, or the S&P was going to move higher and catch back up with the Dow Jones. So we're seeing the first scenario where the Dow Jones catches back up on the downside with the S&P. So all my Dow Jones traders out there, you could have caught a nice move from about maybe 134,100 back down to maybe 34,050. So that move is moving very nicely right now. If you're looking for a short trade, you could wait for prices to come back to 34,050, take it from there. Or if you want to be more aggressive, you can take the shorts from right here at the top of this consolidation area for these wicks at 34,033. So keep those prices in mind. Now, with the overall fact that the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the Nasdaq are all moving lower, that gives an overall picture for the entire market. Basically, the entire market is seeing weakness today. So that could be a potential catalyst to propel this short trade a little bit further. So now that we're breaking past the major levels at 41.66, major support levels, now that we're at least pushing through those, the short trade is becoming a lot more appealing right now. So the last low for the S&P is 41.69. I want everybody to keep your eyes on that price.
All right, let me grab my notes real quick because I think I just flashed over to GJ and I like the way it's looking. Hold on.
Let's see what's going on the 15. Yeah, on the 15, it's a bearish engulfing, broke past major support levels, so we got to keep our eyes on this one.
Yeah, so for GJ, the levels that I said to look out for last night, which was 150 flat. So it actually broke all of these. right here, and it actually came back up to the top of these highs. So I honestly feel this was what it needed for it to come back down, which I feel like it's going to continue to push back down. So I think ultimately GJ is going to be pushing back down to either retest these highs that were just broken. Let me go over to the 4-hour. Oh, and it formed this crazy wick at the top, and now when the market forms a wick like this wicks look different from the wicks we've been pointing out. This wick right here definitely lets you know that we should be expecting the market to keep pushing back down. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, the day's really been showing me that the market's just been making lower lows and lower highs. Oh gosh. Bear with us, guys. Bear with us. Bear with us. Bear with us, guys. We just stepped away. Yo. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, my boy.
Back.
You back?
Yep.
Alright. So pretty much what I was saying, that's been making lower lows and lower highs. I feel like that it can ultimately come back down here to complete this somewhat of an M formation. But I definitely want to be patient on that. But the only thing that kind of, how do you say, sway my decision about the up movement is that when you look at this kind of looks like an inverse flag pole. Like this is the long pole, and this is somewhat of the flag, and this wick down here was the flag's resistance. And if the last time it came back up to the flag resistance, it pushed back down. So that's just the only thing that worries me about this particular pair. But I would still feel comfortable with going short on this one, even though things are looking a little swayy. Like my original idea last night was to go long, but after what happened last night and these two red candles that just formed, I would have to stay on the side of the shorts, just because things has just been pushing down for the most part. So I think if GJ is pushing down, then I feel like AU should be possibly doing the same thing. I was going for a long on AU. So yeah, so if GJ is moving down, I think that AU is definitely moving down, because I noticed that AU and GJ kind of have like a positive correlation. So to say, not exactly, but as far as like the direction, like when GJ is going down, AU is going down, and when AU is going up, GJ is going up. I don't know if there's actually any correlation, but possible. Yo.
Yep.
You can hear me, right?
Yep.
All right. There's something went. Hold on. I think something went wrong with the stream, bro. I think our stream lost the connect. Oh, here it is. All right. So yeah. So for this one, I think I'm gonna get stopped out of this one. I got stopped, so I'm trying to prepare and set up for to be a little bit more patient and either wait for the market to break down below this green box and I'm gonna hop in for the short, or wait for it to reject, and this would have been my original direction to hop in for the long. So either way, I want to be patient with them both and to see kind of what happens. Anything exciting over there?
Yeah, I'm trying to wait for continuation for this down move. We had prices come back up to the top of a consolidation area. Now, usually when you see a trending market, whenever you see a consolidation form after a trend, you want to take it from the direction that the trend lines up in. So in this case, the trend is down. So you want to short from the top of the consolidation zone, which was right here around 65. Now, with the S&P, it happens quick, especially on a 1-minute chart. I missed my setup, so I'm hoping for prices to come back, give me a second chance to get in at 64.50. And then from that point, I'll look to take prices lower and see if the uptrend can continue. But right now, I just closed that order because I did not like the way that prices were moving. We came off of a long tail candle wick coming back up into these consolidation highs. So if we see prices reverse from these levels, then yeah, I'll be a lot more confident in the short trade, but I'm not sure right now.
Yeah, me too. Me the same. Because I feel like where we are, at least for my peers, where we are right now, we could still either go either way. But we would have to, like we said, always stay on the side of the trend. The trend last night was overall down. It came up to a particular level and it turned around. So I should have been a little bit more patient. So that's L number one. So I'm waiting for two more little setups and see how it goes. If I got to get stopped two more times, I would have to call it for today. So I'm gonna be a little courageous today. Like I said, any trade that I'm taking on the demo, nothing live. This is just for all practice. So now I want to see what it does when it comes back up to retest uh, this so-called zone or structure that I just broke in these lows down here. So I want to see the area where I've gotten in at. I want to use that same area as an entry for the short. And mind you, I'm only doing that because I'm on demo. But like I tell you, I never ever switch or sway. I really try to find a direction on my higher time frames, stay in that direction, and if I lose out three times, that's just it for the day. I would never do a buy. If I lose, hop in for a sell. If I lose, hop back in for a buy. Like, that's being wishy-washy. You have to stick on one side, pick a side and stick on it. So let's just see how it goes. I'm going to put another entry back in at 77,420 and see what the market does. If it can retrace off those highs and push back down. I was wrong in my original analysis, which means I need to be a little bit more patient. When I open up my charts, I should take a little bit more time to analyze. It's frozen shake. But you're still waiting on the side of the short too?
Yep.
Let's flash back over to GJ. If this market can find rejection at the top of these highs, I will go short on this as well.
You said short?
I said if it finds rejection, like if it can't break a past those highs over to the left, I will go short. But if it pushes through that, I will wait for it to come back down and then push back up. So I'll make sure I keep both options open. But I know obviously I'm going to go for the long because it's just been pushing up two other times. It pushed actually three times. Pushed up this one time, second time, third time. So I can't be silly and try to go for the short. But I have to be wary. The last time it came up this high, it's still in a zone where it has enough room to push up. But I want to keep both options open. So in that case, if that means AU is originally going back up there. No, my original thought was right there, going up. It's just I hopped in too early. But like I said, I didn't hop in any trades yet. I'm only being patient and just thinking out loud. What would for this particular pair, what would make you go long?
what, AU?
For AU.
Hold on. I need to see a higher low get made first.
Right.
Then I could consider it.
But until then, it's going to be short.
Yeah. Overall trend is up. So I would look for prices at support levels somewhere. If I could find it.
Right. And there's no news that's coming out to kind of push and sway this market. So whatever's happening is just general movement. Let's hop down to a lower time frame. So I was actually correct. So I'm not like I said, I didn't take any trade yet, but I think I had a sell put in, but it's not executed. So I think I'm gonna just take that off and just go in my original direction. And on the minute, I think it just gapped. It gapped on the minute, I think. Oh, no, it didn't. It literally came down to the area where I said, to the bottom of the blue box, bro, and shot all the way up, bro. But I just feel like with the log, like you said, until these highs over here get broken, I have to stay on the side of the short because it's just been making lower lows and lower highs. Anything on your end going crazy?
Yep, the uptrend is starting to pick back up. Trend line for the downside has been broken. We're breaking past what used to be resistance levels, so now I'm waiting for the first initial pullback. So I'm looking for prices to come back and test the bottom of what used to be a consolidation zone over here to the left side. I think that we should find some nice support from those levels. But one thing about the S&P is that when it starts to run, it starts to run. But that can be a double-edged sword because you hop in when you see momentum. You can take the uptrend a little bit higher, catch you some nice points. But at the same time, going long at the higher prices can also kind of kick you in the butt if you do it at the wrong time. So it's one of those things where I wouldn't recommend it for my beginning traders, but my intermediate traders can kind of play around with that. Don't put live money behind it at first. Trade it, practice it on demo, and then hop into the market if you like what you see. But the S&P has a tendency to really run away from you when it starts to run. So if you weren't already in it, it'll be hard to get in because sometimes you're waiting for that first pullback like I am, you might not get it. And it might, make your emotions go crazy and make you want to chase the market. But we have to be able to just, I'm not going to say get rid of those emotions because we're human and that's something we have to live with, but at least be able to deal with it when we come across it. We never want to chase the market. It either comes back to our orders or it doesn't. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for prices to come back to 69.5. And from that point forward, I'm taking it higher. From our initial pre-market analysis, we were talking about how the overall trend is up. And I told you guys, like sometimes the market is going to try and shake everybody out that is not supposed to be in the market. So if you're weak in your position, you'll probably get stopped out. And then eventually the trade will move in the direction that we eventually thought. So in order to avoid getting stopped out and all that, I just got to be patient and wait for my orders. And if I don't get them, oh well. I'd rather not make any money than lose money. I already took one loss today,
Me too.
and I don't want to take another one.
Me neither. So I'm going to stay on the side of short. I set up for a position at 77,400. Pretty much, I put a 2-to-1 ratio. I want to get stopped out if it comes back up to these highs. Even though I should have probably taken my entry at these highs, I just feel like these lows are really just trending down. So I just want to make sure I put in a nice little entry, which I did at 77,400, and let's just see what happens. So this is trade number 2 for me. First one was a loss. Like, I really want to encourage you guys, like, your first initial decision or direction is always correct. Not always, let's just say 80%. 80% of the time, your first initial look or decision is always correct. It may not play out exactly when you want it to, but it always plays out. Like for me, I've noticed a lot of the times my first initial analysis, when I look at it from the top down analysis, is always correct. I may have hopped in too early and been impatient just because I've like, oh snap, I got the direction, or it's everything's clear, everything's lining up. When things line up so quickly and perfectly for me, I get excited. You know what I mean? I get excited and pretty much I let my emotions take over. And you don't let the emotions take over. If you win a trade, you win a trade. You lose a trade, you lose a trade. You still take advantage. You know what I mean? So make sure you do that. So it looks like we are in the green. Let's go. I'm not in the trade yet. That spread got me now. See, I always get stuck on that. Okay. Okay, I'm in now. I hope we don't find no resistance. Come on, baby. Oh no. So let's just be patient. Like we said, when we take a trade, we get stopped out. We get stopped out. We get stopped. And that's it. We don't treat it no more, no less than that. Because if we get too much into it, and I'm mad that doesn't form. Why doesn't it form on the rest of my charts? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it should go to the 5. Because literally where I'm at right now, it could just shoot up, flash up, hit the top of that moving average, and then come down. I'll be stopped, but I'm also thinking maybe I should put an entry up there. Say, come on, man, don't do me like that. We put too much work in for this. Put too much work in for this, man. Let's go. Stop playing. Come on, there you go. Don't be scared. Got one more minute to see what this next candle's form. Because if this next candle closes and the next candle forms above it, I'm stopped. in for a good old stop and stop. How your day going? Is it playing out?
Yep, I'm just sitting here just watching paint dry. That's one thing about the S&P. Like once you get your order in, you just gotta sit there and wait.
Literally.
If your position is good, you just gotta let it ride. Don't, cause it's gonna test you and say, "You sure you want to be here?" You can't let your emotions get the best of you. Your stop is where your stop is. It's there for a reason. So it's no really 9 times out of 10, it's no real reason to close out the trade early unless it's a just something on the chart that's clearly obvious. But most of the time, that's our emotion just telling us, "Oh, get out, get out, get out." But our logic should tell us, "Oh, stay in, stay in." So I'm staying in. So far, I'm in a little profit. Nothing to nothing to make me believe that everything is all good. We're still in the general range of my position, but bulls are stepping in. We have long tail candle wicks popping off of major support levels, coming out of an overall flag. So everything is kind of pretty much lining up for what we need to see. All I have to do is just wait for it.
Yep. And definitely it's all about being patient, man. Like you can see how fast you can lose a trade. You could lose a trade in 2 blinks of an eye. You'll be stopped out or the market is going against you. So you definitely want to be patient and always try to take as much time as you need in the beginning to do your analysis. There's really no time. There's really no specific rules to it. It's really just you getting an understanding of the market and finding, like we said before, finding patterns, finding trends, following those trends. Those are real deal skills that they use in the real world, like not only with trades, but just with your real life, like following trends, understanding how movement is, understanding movement in general. See, yep, I got stopped out. So that's trade number 2. So I have one more time. So this one I'm going to be very, very, very patient. And I think the market just ultimately did what I wanted it to do. It looked like it just came up came up now and formed the head and shoulders pattern I've been waiting for it to form forever.
Yep. Patience.
Patience. And we hopped on at like a little after 9, 9, 10, 9:20, and it's now 10:20, and my move has finally probably played out, and it took like probably like an hour for it to play out my initial decision, or my initial what I said last night, which was this head and shoulders formation, which if it rejects, pretty much was exactly what I said was going to happen, which was going to come back into that zone. And if it now comes and breaks down below the moving averages, that's going to be my last trade for the sell. So I took in sells the whole time. I had a buy down, but I never executed it. I took it off. So if this comes back out of the box, this would be crazy, man. Like, let's flash over to GJ real quick. So like I told you how they have a correlation, we were expecting a down movement for GJ. GJ said, no way, we've been making higher highs, and that's our story, and we sticking to it. So in that case, if that's true, and what I said, if AU and GJ is positively correlated, that means this is not a retracement. That means this is now a V pattern reversal. And when these highs over here get broken, will be the confirmation that, yo, this joint is going up. But until these highs to the left gets broken, we're still in that hopes that this is a head and shoulders formation and to continue down. But this is the true test here to let us know if GJ and AU has a positive correlation. Because if they do, that means if GJ is going up, this is going up. And if this is going up, this head and shoulders is not where we say it is. This green candle would be a nice little flagpole, and we're just now waiting for the flag resistance to be formed. But it's now looking like it's coming back down. I had my stop at the top. Did I get stopped out? I put at 77,460. Oh, nah. I thought I got stopped out. I didn't even get stopped. Where did I put my... I had it at 77,460. The trend didn't hit 460? Nah, that joint definitely hit 460. But either way, that joint coming back down now. I don't know whether I should root the trade on or not because I feel like I should have been stopped. Stop is at. Oh, 77,475. Oh, no. Keep that stop right there. Come on, baby. So let's flash back over to GJ. This market is acting funky today. Wasn't there like 2 or 3 green candles that was formed here, bro?
What time frame was it?
I don't know. I felt like I didn't change the time frame. I felt like when I flashed over here, the time frame was the same. But I felt like there was a bigger green candle right here. That's why I was like, oh, snap, that trend going up. But I'm still in the trade. So technically, we didn't lose trade number 2. We didn't get stopped. Yeah, now I'm going to just stay with this one. I feel like I've gotten on the right side of the trade now. Yep. Because when you look at it on a 15-minute, the head and shoulders shows perfectly. Shoulder, shoulder, head. Came and pushed all the way up. Where did I get that at? I think I got it at 77,400. Damn. At the green one. Down here. 403.80. Shit. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna hold on to this one and see how it plays. I think I put in a good stop. I thought I put in 44.70, but I end up putting 44.75, which was a little bit out of the box, right above the box. I thought I had it exactly at the top of the box, but I think someone told me to put it up a little higher, which I did, which was a good intuition. So I think that's a pointer that you guys also need to know. If you put a stop, try to add like maybe 5 or 6 pips on top of that, because sometimes that gives the market enough room to breathe. So you want to give the market enough room to breathe, let it do what it wants to do, so you don't get stopped out. And well, you know what I mean, you definitely want to get stopped out if it's going against you, but in this case right here, like where I didn't I didn't get stopped out and thought I did, but I added up a few and I was still in a trade, even though I was negative a lot of this. Probably should have been out, but the trade is now going with me now. It's now coming down. So where I was negative before, I'm now becoming positive. It's pushing back down. So I think this is a good trade. I'm glad it was a little bumpy trade, a little emotional for sure. Um, you know, you don't want to. I don't know. I felt like I kind of rushed it a little bit, but with Tiberius's help, he was just like, "Yo, bro, that joint's going down," or he was just like, "You going up?" Like those little things, I need to second guess myself. But yeah, Tiberius is right. When I was thinking about going up, he was like, "You going up?" And it's like, nah, hell no, I'm not going up. I'm going down. I just want to see this joint hit the bottom, back down the structure, and I'm done for the day. I'm going to take mine and run. I forgot I'm on such a low ass time frame. So you right, this joint is like paint drying, bro. Is there anything you wanna show or?
No, I'm over here on the S&P. The initial trade I had, it came into profit, so I moved my stop up to break even. Break even stop eventually got hit. I still like the trade from that point, so I hopped in. But as soon as it started moving against me, I realized I shouldn't be hopping into a long trade after my break even stop just got hit. That's telling me that markets are going down. So I hopped out real quick before things got ugly. And now I'm just waiting for the uptrend to continue. Taking a long time, but it's Friday, so
Yeah.
I expect that.
And it looked like that the market is a little bit choppy. Like it looks like it's trying to go in a direction, then it just flipped. Like it just don't know what it really want to do. And I think ultimately it wants to just go up.
Yeah.
Ultimately it's gonna go up, but it's definitely just retracing right now. Possibly if you can get another catch at that bottom for like a nice little double bottom, I think that would possibly be good, valid. But the way this market is moving, you might not get enough momentum. So I think you would have to do it off the previous candle or the previous two candles. So see if you could try to get in at the top of that, where the wick is, that top candle, that bottom down
I know one thing. It's gonna take a good minute for that to happen. Because the way this thing is moving,
there. It's at the
it's
top of it
moving
right now.
about
It's at the
one
top of that.
tick every.
Looks like it's at the
Say
top right
what?
now.
Nah, don't let that trick you.
Trick me, huh?
It's gonna come down there. It's gonna test it.
For sure. I feel like mine is moving kind of just like yours. Like yours is trying to go up and it keeps going down. My joint wants to go down and it keeps going up. I can definitely see possibly that this market is trying to respect the 7 moving average. Look like what it's doing right now, and it's ultimately look like it's trying to push down. So I think this trade right here, we definitely got to be patient. Just let it come to us, man. We're on the good side. We're in, but we're not negative too much. Um, Luckily, we didn't go on the opposite side, which I wanted to do. But you guys helped me really kind of put it in perspective. Like, nah, bro, don't go back and forth. Pick your side and stay on it. Understood. So now pushing down. Come on, baby. We now pushing down. We just need a break of this over here. Let's get a break of this left over here, which lines up with this low over here. If we get this break, we for sure can get where we're going. Looks like we're trying to come back to break even. Here we're coming to a little bit of profit. So a lot of retracements, a lot of pullbacks. As long as we're not heavily in the negative. Our Head and Shoulders was correct, bro. I don't know, bro. I think your joint going down, bro. I think your joint is short and crazy right now, bro. Just making lower lows, lower highs. Mm-hmm. My boy trying to dig in. Let's get busy, bro. Huh?
Let's get it.
My boy trying to find him an entry. Yeah, that lower, that you recording your loss? You won that one or lost that one?
Lost out.
You lost that one.
Mm-hmm. Tricky market.
Try to catch it off the highs. If it breaks, no, that shouldn't go in that. If it rejects the highs to the left right now, take it back down. But
I gotta look for the uptrend on this one.
you gotta look at the uptrend, right? Okay, so
The selling is just temporary on the smaller time frame, but on a longer term, it's moving up. It's just about patience. As soon as I think it's gonna go short, that's when it goes long, and it's the opposite on the other end too.
well, then use that high to that high to the left. Use that as probably guidance. Like, all right, if that joint breaks up above it, we know it has to come back down to retest it. So we want to use that left high as possibly a guide. If it comes back down and hits that high, we gotta try to go long off that high because we know going up, we test off highs. I know you got a good 6 points into you today. I see. Matter of fact, I see about a good 8, 9 points on you today, fam. Is that you?
I hope so. It ain't looking like that so far.
Come on.
I don't know. This market is kind of choppy. I'm not fucking. I mean,
Oh, bro.
Oops.
We all human.
Sorry,
man.
kids.
We're human, kids. You know. Let's look at this Dogecoin. 'Cause I know everybody's been doing this hype or whatever, but it's been going up, and I do think it's gonna go up. I just really do feel we can just follow the trend it's really been doing, which is kind of just making highs, coming back down to retest previous highs, doing like the same thing. So I actually told my friend it's gonna come back down. He argued me down and said it was not going to come back down here. But what did it do? It came back down here, and I told him once it comes back down off the low, just hop back in, bro, and just let it rock. Just let it rock. So if you in this joint right now, bro, you possibly should. Like I told you, bro, it's gonna come back down to the highs. You argued me down when it was up here at 44. Nah, bro, it's not gonna come back down to 30 or the high. I'm like, bro, it is. What did it do when it caught back up here? It came all the way back down. We tested these highs here, and now we're now pushing up. So I think you can still even get in now because you just got a bounce right off of the 7 moving average. But let's look at this on and honestly, this is so new. It doesn't really have as much history to really see on higher time frames. All you know is that it's just going up. And anytime it forms something like this on higher time frames, you guys got to be weary because this high back down here is going to get touched again. Going to get touched again. If it's not this one's going to get high. But this is all in a general area. So understand those highs are ultimately going to be retested again. So you definitely don't want to be caught on the wrong side of the trade with this one. Because, you know, you can make money just as well as you could lose money. So just how it's pointing this high, definitely be expecting for the market to come back down here to continue back up or use this area to come back down to kind of retest lows that were down here that possibly didn't get touched. So I think maybe even the high down here that really didn't get touched could possibly possibly get retested. But that's just me thinking out loud. I'm not saying I know it's going to come back down, but just kind of look how it's retested now. So right now you can kind of wait for it to come back down because it is pushing back down. So you can, as soon as you can get your entry, let me see how many pips it is. Let me see how many, whatever this is counted in. How many? This is about 9% on your account, just this box. So you have, oh no, 12%. Wait, how come when I do it up? Hold on. You see that, bro? All right, so look at the number when I go up. Right? About 11, 12%, right? 11, excuse me, 11, 10%. Now look at it when I do it down. Oh, it's the same. I'm about to say, wait a minute, how in the world? But anyway, it looked like it just retouched this now, so it looked like it already been retested. So now you can kind of patiently wait for it to continue to go back up. I think it's doing that. Yeah, I look like it came back right back down to this zone where I kind of put that general area, came into that general area, and now it's going up. So, bro, I would definitely encourage you to either get in or begin to get in because it's now heading to break higher highs to the left, and it's just now going up. And this is fairly new, so mind you, look at where we are. We only at 40 cents. The market can go all the way up to $1 or hundreds of thousands, just like Bitcoin, 60,000. And we're at 55 cents. So I understand the flip on that. 55 cents to 60,000. You do the math. So I think ultimately Bitcoin, Dogecoin right now is definitely a good little come up. You got what is it? Which one? What is the platform called, bro?
What? Robinhood?
Robinhood. You can definitely capitalize. I don't have Robinhood. I should get into it, but my reasons could definitely be different from yours, so I don't want to say my reason to kind of veers anyone's opinion on Dodge. But this is something I don't even know how this is even happening. Matter of fact, I do know it's all about the money and hype. Like I told somebody the other day that asked me, could Dogecoin possibly be bigger, the same as or bigger than Bitcoin? And my response to him is, if you put any amount of hype or any amount of money behind something, it could be as big as anything. So understand that. You could turn nothing and add money and hype, and it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. right now is definitely the time to get in. Did he just text me? Oh, no, that was old. Let's see how AU's doing. Oh, I'm in profit, profit. Let's flash back over to AU. Oh, okay. So ultimately, this was a good little session today. I'm still gonna hold on to this trade for sure. Um, Ty, you got any last rapid words?
Yep. Always respect your loss limits. I could continue trading, but I took my 3 losses, so I wanna be disciplined and not do anything. Monday is right around the corner. No need to rush it. That's the lesson I want to leave you guys with this morning.
All right, and the lesson that I want to leave with you guys this morning is definitely analyze your charts. Top down method. We've done the top down method 1,000 times. You look at all of those higher time frames, even if you looked at it 10,000 times. You look at it, you want to make sure everything aligns up. Always go with your first instinct, because I promise you, 80% of the time, you are absolutely right. It's just that 20% is straight emotion, and it is sometimes it's a powerful thing, and it can sway you to do things that you possibly don't normally do. So that's why I always try to encourage people, man. Like, try to really be disciplined with that, looking at all time frames no matter what. Don't get stuck on one time frame just because everything is lining up. You want to make sure everything is everything. And like Tiberius said, at the end of the day, discipline is discipline. If you're not